We're still going to do some fun stuff for Mother's Day. And I want to start by showing you this picture because I wanted to read this story to you. Notice down here these are made out of clay figures, and they're supposed to be a family. And this is our average boy day adventures, that are always kind of funny. And he's has always a plan. Usually it doesn't work, but he's always got a plan. And his plan today is to do something nice for his mother. Let's see what his epic idea. Epic means tremendous, great, and marvelous. So he thinks his idea is epic. My Mother's Day gift idea was epic. Unfortunately, an epic idea doesn't always turn into an epic product. Ask the makers of the Snuggie. Everybody knows it's just a backward blanket. My epic idea was to make a clay statue of our family. The school's art teacher was totally on board with me. I guess you could try that, she said. When I finished molding my clay masterpiece, my friend Billy looked it over and said, "Cool! How did you get the idea of having 4 sad snowmen standing in a lava pit?" I carefully examined my creation. My brother was missing an arm. I had extra big teeth. My dad's belly had fallen off. That would be a better gift from my dad, I thought. I've heard people say it's the thought that counts. But Mom likes more than thoughts. A few years ago, I wrapped a loving thought for my mom in a homemade think box. She opened it and said, "Think again." The biggest problem with buying gifts is most stores want money for the items they sell. I did convince one store to let me mop, sweep, and clean in exchange for a picture frame. Okay, I accidentally broke the frame, so they asked me to clean to pay for it. I was running out of ideas, and I was also running out of time. Mother's Day was the next day. And the worst part was my brother had his gift all ready. He made a special plate for my mom in art class. I had to admit, it was great. I asked if we could both put our names on it. He just quoted my mom, "Think again. It's my plate." I tried, but nothing came to mind. Except that I was supposed to mow Mr. Polvato's lawn. Maybe the fresh air will spawn some creativity, I thought. An hour later, I was sitting on Mr. P's porch, wondering if a bag of grass clippings would be a good gift for a mother. That's when I noticed all those birdhouses. Mr. Polvato either loves woodworking or he loves fat birds. I asked if he would help me make a birdhouse for my mom. He jumped at the deal. Well, he's about 108 years old, so he doesn't actually jump for anything. Next morning, Dad made breakfast as my brother and I brought out gifts to the kitchen. Halfway down the hallway, my brother tripped and fell. Mom's plate broke into 1,000,000 pieces, and my brother's spirits did the same. This was my moment. I ran to the room and returned with a marker. Quickly, the birdhouse had my brother's name on it too, right next to mine. I don't know who smiled the most that morning, my mom or my brother. However, I did learn this. Neither of them smiled as big as I did. God is right. Helping others does feel great. Now, I want to tell you about this. This is a really interesting little puzzle. And you can see there's 7 of these different little faces that are actually made up of letters if you look at them closely. And these are the moms in the Bible, some pretty outstanding moms in the Bible. And believe it or not, I don't think they put the answer key in this magazine. So I had to sit down and do this and figure it out myself. So you can even challenge your mom for this. This is kind of a challenging little puzzle. But what you do, easiest thing, is take a piece of paper, write down every letter you can find in each one of those faces. And then when you get the letters out of this face down, you rearrange them until you find the name of the Bible mom who was real special. And also, I want to challenge you guys to think of a Bible mom who's not in this list. And I want you to make a face, if you can, using those letters. And Lavender Klein, if she doesn't get a chance to listen to this and you see her, you tell her I'm giving her a special challenge. I want her to try to make a cat or a cat face because she can turn anything into a cat face. She's such an artist. And I'm going to give you all a challenge. I want you to take the wife of Moses, who was a mom. Her name was, are you ready? Zipporah. And I'm going to spell that. Zipporah. One more time, I'll spell Zipporah. Zipporah. I want you to try to turn Zipporah into a face or into a picture of something. And then you bring it in when we get back to having class because I want to see what you came up with. And Lavender, that challenge goes to you especially because you have an artistic gift. And I would love to see a cat named Zipporah. You can't complete the lesson without doing one of our mysteries. So here we go. We've got Emily Jones, Matthew Parker, and let's see what they're into today and see if you can figure out the secret. It says, when Camilla's cola goes missing, can Emily solve a classic case of who drunk it? A good detective trusts her friends. I've gotten to know my sidekick, Matthew Parker, pretty well. So when I saw him walking away from his little sister's soccer game, I knew something must be wrong. You can't leave, I said. Camilla's just on the field. I know, he said. The moment she stops playing, though, we're in trouble. Why do you say that, I asked. Can you feel how hot it is? Well, of course, it's a hot day. I followed Matthew as he wove through the rows of town chairs. It was like half of Odyssey had shown up to watch their kid play. Suddenly, we were face to face with Matthew's big sister, Olivia. Well, did you find them, she asked. Not yet, Matthew said. Who are you looking for, I asked. I'm not looking for a who, I'm looking for a what. I'm looking for 12 cans of Crazy Cherry Mega Cola that I brought as a surprise for Camilla. Kids shouldn't drink soda, a parent was grumbling from her lawn chair, especially while they're playing sports. It's an after-game treat, Miss Koenig, Olivia said. I wanted to do something nice for my sister, but somebody ruined my surprise. I walked over to the deep tub of sodas and surveyed what was inside. You can see there all that pop inside. And the only thing I saw were two choices, Diet Cola and carbonated water. Can't Camilla drink one of these, I asked. Matthew's face scrunched up. Have you ever tasted either one of those? If you want a treat, you can give Camilla some of my orange slices, Mrs. Koenig said. They're almost as sweet. Before Olivia could even answer, we heard a big burp. I spotted my brother Barrett lounging in the grass with his game system beeping in his hands. He had a can of Crazy Cherry Mega Cola sitting right by his side. Matthew and I marched right over to him. Hey, brother, I said, are you enjoying this game? Totally, Barrett replied without even looking up. Where did you get that soda, Matthew asked. Out of the tub. How many did you drink? I pressed him. Barrett's stomach rumbled. None of your business, he said. Ugh, I thought, mystery solved. That was really selfish of you, Barrett, to drink all 12 cans. Barrett paused his game. Whoa, you think I drank a dozen Crazy Cherry Mega Colas in 1 hour? Get serious, Emily. My hands would be so shaky from the sugar rush, I couldn't even play the video game, much less push the buttons. I pulled Matthew aside. Is that true, I asked. Matthew shrugged. I'm not sure. I'm a lemonade guy, but it is pretty sweet and sugary. Barrett unpaused his game. I only drank 1 can of soda. I've been too busy playing to get a second one. Okay, mystery not solved. When did you take the soda, Matthew asked. As soon as I arrived. Barrett said. It is pretty hot today, you know. Did you see any other cans of Crazy Cherry, I asked. No, Barrett said. I was only looking for one. Barrett may be a lazy burping mess sometimes, but he isn't a liar. So if he says he only drank one can of soda, I believe him. Barrett crushed the can under his foot and tossed it toward the trash bin over by the soccer field. He missed pretty badly. We'll get it, I said. It gave us an excuse to go investigate the trash. Our eyes surveyed the garbage, food wrappers, newspapers, plastic water bottles, candy bar wrappers, but no soda cans except Barrett's. Matthew grimaced. Are you really going to want me to dig through all this trash to investigate? Do you love your sister or not? I replied. Matthew sighed, rolled up his sleeves. Thankfully, Camila herself interrupted us. Did you see? She said, talking 100 miles an hour. I scored a goal. Way to go, Camila, Matthew cheered. They high-fived. Camila wiped sweat from her brow. Man, am I thirsty. Can I get a soda? No, not yet. The game's still going on, Matthew said. Grab some water and a few orange slices from Mrs. Koenig and go sit with your teammates. You might have to go back in. Right. Bye. Bye, Matthew. Bye, Emily. Camila dashed back to the sideline. Matthew sighed. I don't think we're going to solve this mystery before the game ends. There are too many suspects. Just look at all those people. We don't need to interview anyone else, I said. Just look at the evidence. We already know what happened to the soda. Do you know where Camila's soda went? What were the clues you used? Turn to page 19 to read the solution. All right, let me go back here, see what you think, and if you figured it out. Matthew narrowed his eyes. Do you think Mrs. Koenig stole them? She hates sugary drink. That would be difficult, I argued. If Barrett drank one soda, that leaves 11 ice-cold cans. Too many to hold at one time. How would she hide all those drinks? Matthew rubbed his chin. Well, maybe we should check that trash again. Nope, I replied. Turns out the sodas stayed right where they belong. I marched over to the tub, plunging my hand past the upper layer of floating drinks. I pulled out a can of Crazy Cherry Mega Cola from the ice water. Now, how did you know there was one left? Matthew exclaimed. Because there are 10 more in the same tub, I said. I pushed aside those cans on top, and underneath were 10 more cans of Camila's favorite soda. Barrett mentioned that this drink could give him a sugar rush, and I got to thinking. Diet soda and carbonated water are sugar-free, so they float, Matthew said. That's what you mean. Meanwhile, sugar is denser than water, so the cola cans with sugar weigh more, and they go to the bottom. Once the ice melted, it sank. I handed the can to Matthew. Quick, take this to Olivia so she can surprise Camila. Matthew nodded. Thanks, partner. Together we can solve anything. Now let's just take a couple of minutes here and see if we can answer some Bible Mother questions. See how many you know. Who had her first child when she was 90 years old? Do you know? Number 2, who was a mother who prayed and prayed and prayed, even in church, and she was praying so hard that one of the preachers thought she was drunk until he found out how serious she was and what she was praying about. She had a boy. Number 3, who had the first twins that are mentioned in the Bible? Number 4, whose husband found out she was going to get pregnant when he was in church? And since he didn't respond the way God expected him to in faith right away, he lost his voice until the baby was born. Who was the great, 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 on and on grandmother of all of us? Who was the mother who put her baby in the bulrushes to save his life? Let me give you just a few quick jokes. What's a cat's favorite pizza topping? Mushrooms. Why did the sock go to church? Because it was holy. Which bird likes knock-knock jokes the most? A woodpecker. What instrument can you eat? A Taco Bell. Why is it hard to understand electricity? Because it's confusing. What animal is never without his luggage? An elephant. He always has his trunk. What is a frog's favorite flower? A crocus. What mountain range has the most fruit on it? The Appalachian Mountains. Have a good week.